Necrosis Knights, brought to you by Graveyard Games. Necrosis Knights is a base defense game designed for 2 to 4 players that provides cooperative and competitive play. It also allows for the players to range the difficulty from easy to nightmare. Our game was designed to work on both the iOS and Android platforms, and has a target audience of ages 13 to 30. Players can use touchscreen technology to interact with our UI system. Some of the mechanics that we implemented are very basic and simple to use, while others are more technical. One of the mechanics that we implemented is the Godsend mechanic. This allows for players to go ahead and reset their current position back to the beginning of the lane. This mechanic's design allows for player forgiveness to be implemented without changing difficulty. One of the ways players are allowed to compete in this game is through the coin system. The coin system rewards each player at the end of combat with coins that are used for purchasing items within the game. Players are able to gather coins through using combat sequences. One of the combat sequences is attacking. Players are able to engage an enemy, attack it, and eventually defeat it. Another combat sequence is defending. Players are able to use defensive items to defend their village. The defensive combat sequence is initiated when a monster is in a village, and the player has the option to place a defensive object in front of them. Players are also faced with decisions, and they must do them in a short amount of time. Players are allotted only 30 seconds between each combat sequence. Players are provided a lane to defend at the beginning of the game. Enemies will spawn at the end of each wave and begin to make their way down past the player. In this sequence, the player can only complete one action per turn. In this screenshot, the player has chosen a defensive option. Many of the games inspired the competition aspect towards our game. One of the games selected was Resident Evil Mercenaries. While our games have many similarities, one of the differences that sets ours apart is the currency system that allows players to actually purchase items in-game. Another game that draws similarities is Black Ops 3 Zombies. While both games have similarities, players in our game work towards a defensive point rather than merely trying to survive hordes of zombies. Dungeon Defenders is also a game we drew a lot of inspiration from. While there are many similarities between both Dungeon Defenders and our game, players are separated in our game and must succeed on their own abilities. Gears of War 2 was also one of our main inspiring points. While Gears of War uses waves of NPCs just like ours, the difference is ours actually spawns unique boss encounters, while Gears of War actually continues to bombard the player with harder and harder difficulty monsters. Thank you for watching the presentation of Necrosis Knights. We hope you enjoyed it.